Hi guys, Rasmus here. I'm back with another edition of the sweep picking guide. Today we're going to be looking at hand synchronization. Hand synchronization, of course, being the synchronization between your right and your left hand. So there's a couple of things that can go wrong, so to speak, when you're doing sweep picking. So when we're sweep picking, it's important that we fret the note and we pick the note at the same time, and not do it like out of sync, so to speak. So we don't fret the note before we actually play it, and we don't play it before we actually fret it. And it's also very important to keep that note fretted as long as possible before we fret another note that we then pick. So in this video we're going to go over a couple of exercises that will hopefully help you to improve this. In the first exercise we're going to be looking at the notes that we actually pick versus all the notes that we play. So when we do sweep picking just on the top 3 strings here, so major, which is just C major. So it's 15 and 12 on the top string, then it's 13 on the B string and 12 again on the G string. So which we have discussed in the last couple of videos. Now if we look at this pattern you will see that there's 2 notes on the top string and then 1 note on each of the lower strings. So what that means is that we actually have 1 note on the top string which we play with a pull off. So in this entire pattern there's 1 pull off, the rest are picked. So if we go through it, just playing from the top, we have pick, pull off, and then pick, pick. So it's pick, pull off, pick, pick. Now what's important to realize here is that the picking pattern is not up, 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 up. It's up, 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 up. We are having that pull off in between. So if I now try and play only the pick notes, but still keep the rhythm the same, then I will have this. Versus. So what we have here is. So the rhythm is pick, 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 pick. And then we have that pull off in between that I'm here omitting. So. And having this realization that we're not actually just playing down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, up, up. We are when we're playing up because we don't have any hammer-ons. In this we only have a pull-off. So on the up we have a down pick, a down pick, a down pick, and then an up pick. So there the picking pattern or the picking rhythm actually matches what you hear when you hear this. Whereas when you're going down, the picking pattern doesn't actually follow what you hear the lick going like so. So the exercise here is to focus on that rhythm where you do the up picking going down. So this part. And try and play both perfectly. So both the version where you're doing the pull off, so we're playing up pick, a pull off, and then 2 ups. Unless you're doing and some of you might be doing a down pick on the 3rd string, but let's not discuss that now. And then focus on just playing it without the pull off. So we just have or. Here I'm playing up, up, down, up, up, down. Depending on what you're into on this part. So and the next part is then to try and alternate between them, and ideally you should do all of this with a metronome, of course. But to start with, just try and get it down and get the rhythm into your head so that you have the rhythm of the picking. Because the rhythm of the picking is, which is what I'm trying to explain here, is not kind of just up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, down, down. It's up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down, down, down. So as an exercise, try and play both and switch between them. So try, for instance, do 2 without the pull off and 2 with the pull off. So. And notice how your picking has to wait for that pull off. So pick, and then you wait a bit, and then you do the additional note. So. your picking hand is doing exactly the same when you play these two different things. The difference only lies in your left hand. But it can really mess up your synchronization if you think that you somehow have to do some picking on that note because you don't. So the mistake that you can make here, and that a lot of people make when they get into this, is thinking that those 3 down picks should be in quick succession and in sort of the same rhythm. So thinking that they should just be like this. When actually you pick the first one, then you wait, and then you have them. So it's... That's the rhythm of the picking. Now the important thing here is not to play this at crazy high speeds or anything, but it's to get into the right picking pattern at lower speeds. And then when you have that with the pull-off, of course, because that's musically when we're playing a song, we're gonna play it with the pull-off, of course. So don't spend days on trying to get this to like tempo 9000, right? Just get it into your head and get it into your hand, of course, and get it into, or both hands actually. And then when you have learned that rhythm and you can play that cleanly, then with the pull-off, work it up to speed. And if I just try to do it a bit slower, what we have is... And without the pull-off. And notice how the picking pattern is exactly the same on those two. Now you can, of course, try to play the full thing just without the pull-off. That would sound something like this. So the motion is almost just down, up, down, up, down, up, except we hang at that one moment in time, where we wait for that pull-off. So here I'm really just showing the exercise across 3 strings, but later when you get into other patterns, like across 4 strings or across 5 strings or more, you can do the same exercise and figuring out which notes am I actually playing or picking, and which ones am I just hammering and pulling off. Because that really breaks up the picking pattern, and it's one of the things that make sweep picking really hard until you kind of have it under your skin. The second exercise I want to go over is actually splitting it up and focusing only on one hand at a time instead of trying to get both hands to work together. So the idea here being that if none of your hands is doing the correct thing, then it's really gonna be really hard to try and synchronize them and get them to do the correct thing. So here we're gonna focus strictly on the picking hand or the fretting hand. And we're actually just going to be playing the entire thing with hammer-ons and pull-off, and use our picking hand to mute the other strings. So we're going to play this. Or... The idea here, of course, being that if you're able to do the right thing with the left hand, then it's merely a question of getting your right hand to follow. So what I'm doing here is that I'm hammering on from nowhere, just for the first shape, so hammering on from nowhere on the 15, then pulling off to the 12, then hammering on from nowhere on the 13, and then hammering on from nowhere on the 12th again on the D string, and then of course back. So basically I'm just playing the exact same pattern that we went over before, but now I'm just hammering and pulling off every note. And if I do that without muting anything, then it sounds horrible quite fast. So this is also a great opportunity to just focus on the muting with your right hand. So you can focus on putting your palm so that you mute every string that's not one of the top 3 strings, and then it's already there, it will sound a lot cleaner. So you can hear that the top strings are still ringing out a bit, but there's a lot less noise when we do it like this. And of course, if you just want to focus strictly on one hand, you could either just tie something like a towel or whatever across the strings here, not pushing down, just muting strings. Or you can hold your hand like this if you want to look like cool and stuff. And then you can focus solely on the hammering on and pull off and just work with that one hand. And this is something that's essential that you do to a metronome. So you need to get the rhythm down and the feel down so that you know what it will feel like when you're doing it correctly with your left hand. So that when you're actually playing the sweep picking, and you notice it doesn't sound quite right, then you know that it's the right hand that's messing up. It's not the left hand, because your left hand feels like it's doing the right thing. That should sound right. And of course, you can also do this for other patterns, such as minor or diminished. And you can put sequences together and just do it with hammer-ons and pull-off in a kind of sweep picking pattern across multiple strings, but without actually using the pick, and thereby having it vastly simpler. All right, so that is all I have for you today. I hope you really learned something from this, and I hope it will improve your sweep picking greatly. In the next episode, we are either going to be looking at inversions across just 3 strings, or we're going to move into a bit more advanced territory and look at maybe 5-string or 4-string sweeping. Leave a comment below with which one you would actually want me to see me cover. And of course, subscribe because there will be many more videos coming. We have a lot more to cover. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for now. Bye.